Good morning. This is Holly with Holly's Joys, and here I am this morning doing some biblical reflection. And I mean, it's that time of year when you start to think about the nativity and all the historical things that happened around it. And I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about this idea. And something just hit me. And I'm going to have to read my notes because I was just like, if I don't jot this down, it's going to fizzle out. I don't know if you've ever done that. Oh, that's such a good idea. I'll have to write. I'll remember it. And then you just don't. So I wrote it down. And I really want to share it because I think it's really fun and cool. Okay, so how Christ happened to come when he did. Like, what about this moment in time caused the long-expected Messiah to be born, right? So, as I'm thinking about it, I was like, this was conscious effort. Like, these people lived in a full, purposeful life pointing to this moment for generations. So I started looking up some scriptures this morning. So let's just go through it a little bit. So his birth didn't just happen in this weird vacuum. It happened on this wave of generations who were longing with purpose, preparing and watching and waiting. The prophets talked about it, kept pointing to it. Look, be expectant. People carried this idea, this longing, this expectation in their very bones. Even in the first chapter of Matthew, which I've read the Bible through 2.5 times, and I've read Matthew many times, so I don't even remember reading this. So in the whole first chapter is nothing but genealogy. And I went back this morning and I read it again. And it isn't just a list of names, okay? So often I hear people talk about different books and they're like, oh, the genealogies. And I feel the same way, but I can't pronounce any of the names. So they just don't stick. So I looked through it, I read it this morning, and it's not just a list of names. It's a story of God. He's weaning people into this idea, and he's using the very flawed people who are faithful, and they're unexpected people, and he's just working them right into this plan that he's got. His plan of nurturing a vessel to hold this precious soul of the Messiah. Not just any physical body would do. It had to be a special body. Generations of preparing a body worthy of holding the spirit of the Messiah. So, in the phrase in the Galatians 4:4 says, in the fullness of time. So it was a plan. It means everything, politically, spiritually, prophetically, it all lined up in a way that made this moment the right time. A rhythm of longing had gone on, most likely. It's really a lot like labor, I think. So you're having a child, you're in labor, you're knowing that it's going on. Each generation felt this contraction. It was a contraction of hope, and they were living in hardship. And it was growing stronger and stronger until the world was finally ready. It was a deep, deep longing for God. People ached for something more. They were hopeful. And then God appears in a very unexpected form. So, for centuries, and I looked back, it's 42 generations according to Matthew. Families weren't just having children and then hoping that they would grow up to be functioning adults like so many of us do today. or finding their kids a nuisance, or finding their kids a drain on their finances. It's not how they were. They were raising their children with this possibility of destiny hanging right over their cradle. Households were shaped by the Torah, and they were listening to the prophets, and they were parenting from this knowledge of these promises. A shoot will come from the stump of Jesse. A virgin will conceive. Out of Bethlehem will come a ruler. Imagine each mother and father along the way, all through all these generations, they're leaning over their little child, their son, and they'd say, could this be him? Is this him? If not him, is he the father of the one we're waiting for? And if you had a daughter, is she the mother? Is she the one that's going to carry him, bring forth the Messiah? And with each generation, hope moved closer and closer. It wasn't anxiety. It was a treasured reverence, not knowing if their child's life would intersect with prophecy. So when angels appeared to Mary, she was not confused. She was not thrown off. She might have been like, are you sure it's me? I mean, can you imagine? You've learned this since you were born, really. All these generations on pins and needles just waiting. And she's the one. And the angel says, yeah, you're the one. And why not? If not now, when? So the nativity story is filled with this awe. It's not just a miracle in the moment. It was the weight of the centuries of leaning forward. It is every parent who wondered, is it my child? Every rabbi who taught the prophecies. Every child raised with this, maybe it's you. I mean, that's a big hope, right? It's all funneling right into this one night in Bethlehem. Divine timing. Not random, but cultivated through generations of longing and faithfulness. So as I was thinking about this purposeful living, this cultivation of a promise, and I am going to live my day today looking forward to the next promise. God's promise, I will never forsake you. I have chosen you. And I'm going to go in my experimental life today, my laboratory, and I'm going to walk in this expectation. I mean, I'm an unusual vessel too. So I'm thankful that he chose that day. And I'm thankful that he sent the Messiah. And I need to be thankful that he sent me to do what I'm doing too. So go in your laboratory of life today and just think about this purposeful living. We hear so many things about generational curses, but why not let's cultivate that idea on a positive instead? And I hope that brings you joy and encouragement today. And just go in the world and be light, my friends. Like me on Facebook, at Holly's Joys on YouTube and TikTok. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.